Mr. Nephew had some comments or discussion with regard to Fish Creek.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, obviously this has been on the agenda, slipped for a couple of months here as wanting to get it in. And I did see actually in Senator Uyghur's updates just last week that he mentioned some progress that had been getting going, and he talked about conversations with Maplewood City officials. And so I think maybe staff is already working on this, but I thought that as a council, perhaps we could give direction to staff if we are interested in taking advantage of the opportunity to acquire some land for conservation in the Fish Creek area, which was allowed by the settlement agreement with COPAR last year. And so basically I just want to throw this out to see if this is something that other people on the council are interested in. What I would be interested in from staff would be a report on the status of what COPAR is doing, if they're open to some extension, and maybe different possible strategies that we could use to attempt to preserve some of that land, going from a sort of minimal scenario where we'd just use the PAC fees that came from the development to the potential of conservation for the entire lower acreage of the COPAR project. So, but of course this is an issue for the whole council to weigh in on.
Well, it's my understanding that the perhaps the amount of money that Senator Uyghur was looking at was $2.5 million, correct?
I read that in there, and it sounded like that maybe was the amount that would buy the so-called referendum lots.
Right, because I
think we have an option on.
Right, because I think the lower portion, if you're looking at that, was, if I recall correctly, was more like about $10 million. So I was wondering exactly, maybe if prices have gone down.
Yeah, I don't think it's only that.
Wouldn't that be an amazing thing?
And I guess the point that I would like in terms of staff looking into this would be
see if the price has gone down.
Where is the price at? Is there a realistic chance of state funding, whether through the legacy amendment funds or through something else that might happen? And basically just, you know, if the council wills it, to have them look into it and report back to us on what the possibilities are, whether it's partial or, you know, a combination of jurisdictions that could be involved in it and so forth. I mean, obviously, we're the ones who have the contract with COPAR that gives us an explicit option, and so we can't just, you know, I don't think the state can do it without us in all likelihood.
Right, because we're the ones that have the rights under the contract, if there's any rights left, because I think, if I recall correctly, I think perhaps that option, I don't remember the dates by which it has to be exercised.
Yeah, we have not reached the date.
Okay, so we haven't reached the date yet.
No. But I feel like we need to get something rolling, and I'm guessing that in this economic environment, the developer is probably not in a rush to develop stuff. But if we don't,
well, we knew that 9 months ago when they didn't have their taxes paid.
If we don't get something going, though, then they may, you know, sell it to somebody else who might not be as amenable to the possibility of selling it to us.
Well, we certainly knew that too. That could certainly be the case. I think now, do we know where the bill is at this stage?
I don't know that there is any bill. Okay. I mean, I guess I'm not sure. I read the thing in Senator Uyghur's newsletter, and obviously I've been wanting us to have this discussion for, you know, many weeks beforehand. But maybe Ginny over there knows something.
Mr. Panucco has spoken with the senator, and I believe they are crafting some language and hoping to put something into their bill.
Do you know which bill it is?
I do not know.
Is it
I was just
bonding,
informed tonight by someone, by Peter Fisher, our Parks Chair, that thought they actually maybe were not going to do the bill after all, but try to get it into some of the legacy funding. So we can certainly report back to you, get better information for you, and report back to you.
Okay.
Right. And I guess we should find out too where COPAR is perhaps in their agreement. If there's, they're open to having an extension, because we might need that, because as we all know, government works slow. And we may have to work on getting an extension of the option so that we ensure that we have enough time to let the wheels of, you know, government to operate.
But obviously, you know, time is not unlimited here, and so I was hoping that we could tell staff, or ask staff to get to work on it expeditiously.
Well, certainly I think we need to find out if COPAR is even agreeable to having an extension.
I bet they are.
Well,
We'd like it in writing.
yeah, that's right, you need to have it in writing,
Yes,
yeah.
well,
Go ahead, Mr.
So,
Antonin.
with these council presentations, obviously, the staff hasn't had the opportunity to assist or,
No,
but,
No,
Not
we
really.
yammer first
so
and
can I
then they
just
react.
take it as with the nod of the council, the consensus of the council to ask staff to do a report on this end, on the discussion that we've had here?
yeah.
Yeah, just to
That
kind
sounds
of
good.
Yeah, so, yeah.
That's what I was
Just
hoping for.
a thumbs up or a nod or something like that, so if the full council agrees, then we'll start working on it.
We're
and stuff
nodding.
like that.
Right.
Okay,
We're
good.
nodding.
Bobblehead dolls.
Or you
So
probably
that was
only
it?
need to have 3, the ball.
Well, it's nice
You
to
get a
have a
sense.
full council consensus to work on these things and, you know, and,
Well, and something like this, it's not a, I mean, it's not a specific policy
Yeah.
decision, it's just we'd
Right.
like to talk
Right.
about this, and somebody who might disagree with the final decision might still be willing to have the conversation about it.
it's a chance to craft it too, so that.
Right,
everybody-
exactly. Okay, next